So grit is built so you can become who you're meant to be. Just got done with my last April Hard presentation, and it was an impactful one I want to share with you guys. So how many of you guys have things in your past you wish you could change? Mistakes, bad decisions, wasted time. Most people look back and think, I messed up. I should be further along. I wish I could redo that. But I see it completely differently now. I'm grateful for my past because without it, I wouldn't be exactly where I am today. So some of you guys know, like after high school, I got really into working out. I was in the best shape of my life, eating clean, focus, but slowly things changed. I partied, I was drinking, I was doing some drugs, and I stopped caring about my health. Okay. I was have a good time all the time. On the outside, I was successful in business, but behind the scenes, no direction, no long-term thinking. Okay. That caught up with me. Eventually, I ended up being 280 pounds, unhealthy, had nice things, had a good life, but no real direction, no real future thinking. My dad had a massive heart attack, stroke, almost died. And on August 10th, 2023, I made a decision to change my life with a huge push from my wife, Colleen. I changed everything. Health, focus, future, purpose, everything. And that got me to where I am today. I found my life's purpose, which is to motivate and inspire everyone I come into contact with. So the old version of me would have beat myself up, right? For that. The new version of me is thankful for that journey. My past didn't set me back. It prepared me. That kind of change doesn't come from motivation. It comes from grit. So early on in my fitness journey, I made a decision I was going to ride my mountain bike every single day, right? I knew if I did that, that would put me in a good position. Some days were fun, but a lot of days I was sore, out of shape. I didn't want to do it. There was days I wanted to skip, but I didn't. I got on the bike anyways. And doing what you know you need to do, even when you don't feel like it, that's what grit is. With presentations, I started doing presentations. And if I'm going to be real, they sucked. I had a lot of personal growth and business growth and fitness growth, but I still didn't look like the way I look today. I would get up, I would do presentations about, personal development, business development. I was nervous, sweaty, stumbling over my words. I didn't feel like I was making an impact, but I kept going. Now, my most recent live event, 85 people showed up to a room that holds 75. I'm getting multiple messages from people saying that the information that I shared changed their lives. I'm grateful that I sucked because it got me to where I am today. What kept me going? That's grit. So Napoleon Hill shares a story of a man who was digging for gold. He hit a rock. He sold everything to a junk dealer. The junk dealer brought in an expert, and the expert had figured out that he was only 3 feet away from gold. So that junk dealer kept digging and eventually struck this massive vein of gold and became incredibly rich. Same opportunity, but different decision. Some of you guys know, some of my Coffee with Mortgage Manfro events that I do. My original one that I did, the first one I did, no one showed up to, right? Even someone showed up that I invited to the Panera that I was hosting it at, and I ran up to them excited, and they basically told me, oh, I'm just here to get Panera, and I wanted to die, right? But I was actually 3 feet from gold. People basically show up to those events and have very impactful moments. It's something that I really enjoy doing every month, and we have a lot of people show up. So the early presentations, I was terrible at those, sweaty, overweight, not making a big impact. But look, fast forward now, I was 3 feet from gold. So most people don't fail because there's no gold. They fail because they stop digging. So I was thinking about the word grit, right? I thought about sandpaper. So the more grit sandpaper has, the rougher it is, the stronger it is, the more it can shape something. Smooth sandpaper, there's certain sandpaper you can actually sandpaper your car to take a scratch out, and it won't scratch it that much because it doesn't have much grit. But the high grit would scratch the crap out of your car, and it transforms surfaces. So this is exactly how life works. The hard moments, the resistance, the struggles, that's your grit. And the more you go through, the stronger you become, the more you can shape your life, the more impact you can make. So the friction that you feel is what is shaping you. Grit is not motivation. It's not feeling good. It's not being excited. Grit is staying committed when it stops being fun, not keeping going when it's not working, continuing when it's unclear. Grit is a moment where you don't feel like it, it's not working, you could quit, and you choose to move forward anyways. Grit is not a feeling, it's a decision. You don't wait for it, you build it, okay? So do hard things on purpose, keep promises to yourself, never miss twice, because missing twice is a pattern. Just do not quit, always think what's the next move. Grit isn't about being done perfectly, it's about not stopping. Just like I rode my bike, just like I kept doing the presentations. Where in your life are you about to stop because it's hard? What if you're 3 feet away from gold? Everything you've been through built your grit, and that grit is your absolute advantage. So I want to close with, You're not behind, you're being prepared. I'll say it again. You're not behind, you're being prepared. Thanks for checking it out.